Hello, my name is Eduardo. Today I am here with the part 2 for the tutorial of the shopping list app. Okay. First of all, I just want to say I'm sorry because I uploaded one of the videos of the shopping list with no voice. Okay. Well, I made a mistake. I was in a hurry, so that's why. But I fixed that. Okay. So you can check the previous part. Okay, the narrated version. Okay. For this shopping list app for App Inventor. Well, let's start. For part number 2, okay, if you remember the first app that I showed you, it has like a calculator in the screen number 2. Okay, this is the screen when you have when you're like buying. Okay, if you check here, we have the calculator section, and then we have the shopping part. Okay, well, what we need for this? Okay, so let's see how this thing works. Okay, for example, you find something like 280, 2000, okay, 589, and then maybe you are buying something, 2 items of this, and then you have this calculator, and then you add this, and of course then you can add something else like 512, and maybe 2 items or 3 items, and that's it, and then you add, and then you have this. Then if you press erase, you are not going to erase anything, okay, because it is not enabled. But what we want for erase maybe is just to erase the list, okay, the full list, or maybe this subtotal, okay, and not these things. Okay, so well, we are going to do that. Okay, so remember, we need 2 text boxes, 1 label, 2 labels, 3 labels. Okay, so these labels are not very important, but this is the one that is important for the result. And then we have another label over here that is having this kind of subtotal, and then you have the add and the erase. Okay, so let's return to the project, my shopping list, and let's go to screen number 2. So remember, 2 labels we need. Well, we go here, and we are going to go to the designer, and if you remember, we have 2 labels. First, let's add in layout an horizontal arrangement. Okay, so we are going to add this horizontal arrangement, then we are going to set it to fill parent. We are going to drink something now. Okay, to fill parent, for the width, we are going to drag over here one of the text boxes. We are going to set the width for 2%, and we're going to set it to 30%. Then we are going to add another text box, and we are going to set it again to 30%. I guess it's okay. So for the width, 30%. And then we need these labels, the label for the symbol here in the middle. We're going to set it to a beautiful X. So we set space before and space after. And then we need another label that is for equals, also space, symbol, space, then we just add this center. Okay, this, we need to center this thing. And then we need the most important label, that is this one. So in the equal, we can add like 2 spaces. Better. Okay, now let's start just renaming these things. So we have the first text box, okay, and we are going to call it. So let's erase this, and we're going to call it like price. Price text box. Then we have second text box, and we are going to rename this to quantity textbox. This is not important to rename, not even this one, but this is important. This is necessary to call this label as a result label, and let's just reduce label to LB, and then the initial value, let's set it to 0, center, and let's set it to bold, and maybe in 14 it's okay. So now for this hint, okay, we're going to add here price, and for this one quantity. That's it. So in this case we have this. Now let's wait. So this one, the horizontal arrangement, center, close, center, center. Okay, so now we have the first part. Okay, so we're going to add these things. Now what's next? Well, for a next thing, when you have quantity, maybe you can reduce the size of this to 20%, because we don't need too much space for quantity, because we just write 1, 2, 3, 10 items. I don't guess that we need more. Okay, so just let's check the font. 23%. That's it. So we have the two text boxes, so we insert here the values, then we add here the quantity, then we get the result, and then we need the subtotal label. Okay, well, we need the other buttons as well, so the add. So I'm going to add another layout under this one. We are going to set it to fill parent. Not the height, sorry, automatic, it is for the width, my mistake. And center, center, and we are going to add the two buttons, button number 1, button number 2, that is add and delete. Okay, so maybe delete is for delete everything, okay, or just for deleting these current items, it can be, but I guess it's to delete all, okay, the result. So now let's rename this, and let's call it this is add button, and this is going to be erase button. Okay, now we just renamed it, change the text, add, and erase all. So maybe that's not in that one, and then we are going to add to this one. I guess for this we need to add two labels, okay, and also I guess it is a good idea to have a third horizontal arrangement. We're going to center width to fill parent, then we drag this guy here, center, I don't think that's centering horizontal, maybe to the left. So this is going to be just label that it's going to have the word subtotal, and then we're going to add the final one label that it's going to be here a number 0. We're going to set it to 16 and bold. This one, I like this one in another color, probably red, and bold too, maybe italic. So I guess that's okay, and we're going to rename this label for that it's important, and it will be like subtotal label, and we're going to have it like center, and we are almost ready. So we have add these things, we have this, and we are ready to go. Okay, now to work with this calculator, with this simple calculator, we are going to add a sensor, a clock sensor, and we're going to set it to, I guess, to maybe 100. It's okay. If not, then we check it. So, and we are going to set it like enable, just enable 100. Then we go to the blocks, and then we are going to start with the funny part. So in this part, so I'm going to add here these two values. Okay, so we want to multiply this times this one. Okay, and then we need to add. So let's wait just for this thing to refresh. Okay, so let's start checking. Excellent. So price, quantity. So we are going to affect first this one. Okay, so what we want, so let's go to math, and we're going to multiply. Okay, and also we need a variable for the result, so we're going to call it let's call it subtotal. Well, and we're going to set it at the beginning to 0. Now let's start checking. The first thing is to multiply this times this. So we go here and we go for price, text box, price text box times, we duplicate this one, and then we just change the name to quantity. Basically that is the idea, just to multiply. So we multiply this times this, and this result, it's going to be here in this label, that is result label. So we're going to set result label to this thing. Okay, that's it, pretty simple. Okay, so now we are going to do something. What if this thing is empty, or this one? So we are not going to work with this procedure. We don't want this procedure to work. So we are going to add a condition to prevent the user click while this is empty. So we are going to set if, and then we set not, and then we are going to write empty is empty. Okay, you can get these blocks in here in logic. Not text is empty, and who is empty? Well, if it's not empty, okay, we're going to duplicate this one, price text box, okay, or, okay, or we're going to say or, we're going to insert it in here, we duplicate this one. So if any of these ones is empty, okay, so price and quantity, well, we are going to do the math. Okay, we are going to set this thing. So, and we are going to do this, okay, automatically. Well, how to do that? Well, we're going to use the sensor, the clock, I mean. So we are going to insert this little guy over here. Okay, so now let's check if this is like working. We're going to write here 2500. Well, sorry, we're going to fix that, and we're going to write here, oh, the operation cannot accept the argument and you well, there is another thing that I forgot here in price. Okay, you are going to set it just to numbers, and quantity also to numbers, just to use that. Now we are going to review this. If the text is not empty, okay, we're going to set So if the text is not empty, now when we insert this, we're going to get a message here. So what if we write 2 times empty string? Oh, so this is not working. If maybe I made a mistake over here, maybe it's and, I don't know. Three times 5, and then you have it. Yes, it is and, sorry, not or. So in that case, so if we erase this one, cancel, sorry, it is not doing anything. Okay, so we set it to 5 to 10 automatically. Okay, so well, basically that is the idea for this. Okay, so now for example, if I bought something 480.96, okay, if I don't have anything, it's not doing anything. Okay, if I write in something else, automatically updates the result in here. Now this result, I want to pass this result when I press add. So in this case, I go to button, that is the add button, and when I press this button, I want to send this to the value, to the current value. So the value that I have plus this new value, okay, from this result label. So we're going to set result label text. So set global total plus this, and also we need to check. Okay, so when we press this button, it is just possible to work if label. Okay, so if this label, so let's say label, that is result label text, if the label in this thing is not empty, so if it's not empty, the text result label, well, add this to this value, and then we need to refresh the this one, that is the label with the subtotal. So we are going to set the text to this one. Okay, so only in the case that is not empty. So if we add this, we have this. Now what if I change here to, so we have this, and maybe just 2, we add, and that's it. Okay, that is the way that this thing is working, and we are just missing one thing. We are just missing the erase function. Okay, so we want to erase all these things, and I'm going to add something that let's see if this is working. A notifier. I haven't added a notifier yet. So short, and let's add a color pink notifier, locks. And now what happens now, it is that when I press erase all, okay, so let me close this. When I press erase all, well, let's see what happens if I press in here. Well, it will add, but you know what, in this case I need this value. If I add, it's going to add nothing, but that's okay. So well, about erasing everything, so we want to erase this variable. Okay, so basically that is the idea. So we're going to erase, so that means that we are going to set the variable we're going to set this variable that it's calling subtotal equals to 0. That's it. Okay, but also we want to, if we erase, we make these things empty. Okay, the label, the price text, we are going to set the to empty. So we're going to set them to empty text. We duplicate this one, and we do the same for quantity. And basically this is the thing that is going to do the erase all. Okay, so but the user has to be really careful. Okay, so we don't want the user to erase everything accidentally. That's why we're going to use the notifier. Okay, when we press the button, we are going to activate this, the notifier, with show choose dialog. This is going to give us to a notifier with two buttons. Okay, but now cancelable, we're going to set it to false, and we're going to add the message, the title, and the text of the buttons, button number 1 and button number 2. We're going to write this to yes, this to no. So the message is, would you like to delete this subtotal? And we're going to write the title warning. Okay, so now this is going to be displayed when we press this button that is erase. Okay, and now, so what if the user clicks yes? So we're going to go here to the notifier, and after we choose any of these things, okay, so we're going to trigger something. The choice, it is or yes or is no. So that's why we're going to say, we're going to compare text, and we're going to say if equals, if choice equals, by the way, we're going to call this procedure reset subtotal, and we're going to insert it in here. But if compare text, the choice, it is equal to yes, we are going to run this procedure, that is reset. Okay, so else if if compare text it's equals to no, we are not going to do anything. But I don't know if this is gonna work, so let's check it. So let's say that we have both these things, times 12 or times 1 or times 2, so we add, then we add another thing. For example, the idea is that you are buying and you say, for example, broccoli. Well, broccoli, it was like 250, then we add, and then I go the shampoo was I don't know, 50. These are just examples, silly examples. The nopales, they were like 13, but I bought 3 kilos. Okay, add. So, and then I just decided to erase everything because I want to start again. Okay, not this, just this part. Okay, just the subtotal. So I click erase all, and when I click erase all, it will trigger the notifier. Hey, warning, would you like to delete the subtotal? Yes or no? I'm going to say no, just to check if this is not like erasing. So that's cool. Now, erase, would you like to delete the subtotal? Yes, I hate it. And nothing happens, guys. This is amazing. So let's see what happens in here. So let's analyze again. Set quantity, set this. Well, we need to refresh the text label. Here, subtotal label, and we're going to set it to this one, to this value. We duplicate this one, and that's it. So now let's if we check again, let's erase this. Let's start again with this one, and then we add something extra. We add, so we add this value. Okay, we add it, then we say, no, I want to erase this, yes or no, yes, and that's it, we erase. Okay, basically that is the idea. Now we have this quantity. When we finish, we want to export this quantity to the final report. Okay, well, to export this, we're going to create a new tag, Notifier, and we're going to create Notifier, tinyDB, and we're going to store a value, and we're going to trigger this when we click on Save List. The Save List, it will, if you remember from the previous tutorial, it is checking these options and it's sending everything to a final list. Okay, so basically that is the idea with this thing, and it's making this visible, that is the list. Okay, so the designer goes to this label, the speaker. Okay, so on this list speaker we will rename it. It is my list. Check my list, and then we need another button to go to the other one, but well, so I was thinking about that. If you save the list, you're ready, but you can go to the other page. Okay, so but I guess it's okay if we just save and then we just add these things that we just bought here. So when we save this thing appears, and maybe we can add here a layout, an horizontal layout, for this guy, that it's like, I'm going to make it visible just to add the horizontal arrangement, and we're going to set this to center and fill parent. Now let's add this. When you save, this thing is going to appear in here. Also, it's going to appear with a new button that it says, it's the one that it's going to open the page 3 or the screen number 3. So go to report. So, but I don't know if the word report it's okay for a list, but maybe let's call it finish shopping. So in that case, when you press finish shopping, you go to the page number 3. Okay, so we go to the blocks again and finish. Oh, sorry, I didn't rename this guy, so let's call it finish button. Now you have finished button, you have check my list, that is a list speaker, and that's it. Now I was telling you, when we press save, we want to store. Okay, when we press save, we want to store, no matter which things are checked or not. We want to store a new tag. This tag, it will be, let's call it let's call it money, just to simplify things. and which is the value that we're going to store. Because we're going to store this value, that is the global subtotal, basically. Okay, we're going to store this in money, and then we're going to retrieve this value with this tag, okay, in the other screen, in number 3. So now let's suppose that we say finish and we return. So we return to we go to screen number 3, where we have this kind of report. So items I bought today, things I couldn't buy, okay, and today I spent. Okay, so we can add something like today I spent this quantity of money. Okay, so we can add this maybe in this one. Okay, in the join items, that it says at the beginning today I bought. Okay, so maybe we can add here a join, just not to create another variable. Today items I bought today. Okay, so let's add in here this one. Let's move it over here, and let's add another text here that it can say like I spent today. We add this, and we are going to add a space. Today I spent, and we are going to add here a text, another one. I will tell you one. No, just one. Here, space, this beautiful symbol, and then we are going to retrieve from the database the value money. Okay, remember, duplicate money. So if we don't have this tag, which is the value, I guess we can set it just to 0 if this were like empty. Okay, items I bought today, and then we are going to add here a page break at the beginning of this one. And the items I bought were. So now if we refresh the screen, we could be able to see this thing. So let's see. That's it. I spent 0 pesos. Oh, that's cool. So now let's see, let's go to screen number 2 just to save this information, because we didn't save anything. So what we are gonna do now, it is just to add here some things. Times 2, add, then another one that is this one, add. This calculator is very convenient because you are not pressing like equals, so you can see the result. Well, you are pressing add, but I mean, I guess it's very practical. I remember I use something similar in one of my apps. It was a challenge, math challenge or something for kids. Well, that's it. I have this value, I want to save this value, but also I want to check some items. So check oil, broccoli. I save this thing. Of course I'm not going to press finish shopping, okay, that we haven't add anything to finish shopping button. But don't worry, for finish shopping, okay, we are just going to move to the next screen. So we are going to add here a condition. We are going to say if true, that means that if we press this button, we want to close screen and we want to open another screen. So on the screen, the name is screen number 3. Okay, always check the names of your screens here and write it like that. Screen 3. Screen 3. That's it. Okay, So basically that is the idea, but we are not going to use it because we are in companion. So now we go to 3. We already saved the money, I hope. Yes, I spent today this thing, and the items I bought were oil. Now, the next part I add, okay, I didn't show you this part. I add here in the designer a text box, and I call it text box email address. And then I add a button called send to email button. Okay, check. Now, the idea is to send to my email this list, okay? And also I add another clock. This clock is going to help me to get the date for today. So now, if we go here, the blocks are very simple, okay? Because I took these blocks from Typhoon, okay? Typhoon, yes, okay? So that it's a really cool guide that has very advanced tutorials, okay, for App Inventor and snippets and this kind of blocks, okay? And I check this, okay? And we're going to send an email using Gmail or the email that we have in our phone. So check, the blocks are pretty simple. We're going to use this. If it's not empty, the text box, if this thing is not empty, so that is just the condition to activate this. And also we need an activity starter. Okay, so you drag here in connectivity, activity starter, and we are going to set it to Android intent action view. Android point intent point or dot action dot view. Okay, so and then we just run the activity starter one data URI, okay, and we're going to join. We're going to have this mail to, okay, so we're going to send the email to this text box. The subject, we are going to add in the subject this question mark subject equal my shopping list from, and then after this I inserted from clock format date instant. Okay, so you go here and you find this block in here, okay, format date instant, and you have month, day, year. I get this one, and in instant you use call now. Okay, you go for now, and that's it. Then I write this. I don't know the name of this symbol in English. So this body equals, and then you add the label both, all of this thing. Then you add a space, and then missing text. Okay, the other label that it has these things that we couldn't buy. And then after this thing, we're gonna run the activity starter. Okay, so actually we can insert this thing in here. So and when we finish the activity starter, I just use a notifier, and I say after the activity starter, okay, I want to just show this message, okay, from the notifier. Join shopping list was sent to, and then the email that I wrote in here. Then the title of the notifier, it is shopping list message uncancelable to false. Okay, so now for example, let's try if I write here my email at gmail.com, and I press send to email, and that's it. It says, hey, would you like to send this thing? Okay, I just use Gmail, and it has this information from App Inventor. My shopping list from it here, it has here the date, March 25th. I spent today, and the items I bought today, things I couldn't buy, and that's it. And then you just and it has, this is from me to me again, and I sent this, and you send the message, and that's okay. So well, basically that is the idea, guys. I hope you like this video. Okay. Well, also you can add in here, we're missing another button, sorry. Okay, just try to finish this thing. This button, it will be like start again. Okay. So menu, not menu, but screen 1. Okay. Start button. So we're going to return to the screen number 1. Okay, with this, and basically that is the idea. Okay, just to return, make a new list. Let's call it make a new shopping list. Make a new shopping list. And with this make a new shopping list, we're going to return to screen number 1. Okay, so we are going to add here if, and we are going to insert this in start button. If this is true, as I told you, we are going to close the screen and we are going to close the screen and open another screen. Close the screen and open another screen, and we want to open screen number 1. Screen 1, but also I want people to be able to close the app just by pressing back. Okay, back. So to do that, we're going to do something similar. If true, we're going to duplicate. Instead of open another screen, we're just going to set here close app, close application. Now, what if we want to return to the calculator? Well, maybe someone wants to return to the calculator. So we can return here using a back button. Okay, back to calculator and checkboxes. Okay, so we can add another one, but I guess this is just like that if someone wants to go there. So let's check this. So when you start in here, you have these items, delete items. You see your shopping list. If you save a previous shopping list, you can see this thing in here. You can add more items if you want to this list, or you can delete an individual item, for example shampoo, and I delete the item. I delete shampoo. Then when we finish, we go shopping. That is the button that it will take us to screen number 2, open screen 2. Okay, and when we are in screen 2, we have this bunch of checkboxes, and these checkboxes have all the information. Okay, so we start like calculating things, the price, the quantity, we add, okay, items, we erase all, and we save the list. So let's just call it save the list, because I guess it's not very clear. So here in save, let's see, where is save? Save button. Save my shopping stuff. Save my shop. Now let's check if we have everything here. Check my list. It is the list picker. Finish shopping. It will take us to the next screen for the report. Okay, and I guess that's all for this app. Of course, for this app you can add graphics, you can add some beautiful colors to make it more interesting. Okay, and maybe you have more ideas to have this, but I don't know. I will try this app today. I will try it, and I will let my daughter to try to use it, okay, to see if this thing is like practical or not practical. Okay, so my name is Eduardo. I hope you really like this tutorial. It was very interesting. I guess you can check more things in here. So please check my other tutorials. Check the previous part if you have any problems or questions about this kind of checkboxes, how to spawn them, okay, using the list. So check my other tutorials if you like. I have some interesting games made in App Inventor, And I have also some tutorials that explain a little bit about for each, about using lists, okay, etc, etc. So I will see you next time. Thanks for watching this video. My name is Eduardo. Goodbye.